Why is the ruble collapsing, and what does it mean? Basically, two explanations. One of them is falling oil prices, and the other is the sanctions. About 50% of Russia's revenues come from oil and gas. So with the price of a barrel of oil collapsing from $110 to $60, that's a huge hit to the country's revenues. The second thing is the sanctions. You remember back in February, Russia invaded Crimea, the Russian flag was hoisted above the Crimean parliament. Well, President Obama and other Western leaders responded by imposing sanctions on the Russian government and Russian companies.
We're making it clear that there are consequences for their actions.
The central bank essentially has two tools at its disposal. One, it could dip into its massive pile of foreign cash and buy Russian rubles to prop them up. However, they've already done this a few times and it hasn't worked very well. The second thing Russia can do is dramatically hike interest rates. And that's exactly what they did early Tuesday morning. The basic idea is if you increase interest rates, you increase the incentive people have to keep their money in rubles. That worked for all of about 20 minutes. After that, the Russian ruble continued its violent downward spiral, losing about 19% of its value in 24 hours. Essentially, fear has completely taken over the Russian market as people race for the exits. So what's going to happen? The collapsing ruble will cause inflation to get worse, and the interest rate hikes, which they need to stem the ruble's decline, will only deepen the recession. The one way Putin could help himself is by dialing back the aggression in Ukraine and hoping that the sanctions get eased. But that seems very unlikely. The provocations in Ukraine are the one thing he's done this year that's been very popular in Russia. It's much easier for Putin to blame the West for Russia's problems than to actually do anything himself.